November 2001, Marcus Webb appears on CNN's 9/11 survivor stories, recounting his miraculous escape from the South Tower, standing ovation at his company's memorial service. Book deal pending, Seconds to Live, My 9/11 Survival. He's America's hero now, pulled from the rubble, touched by God. Meanwhile, Maya Richardson's name is engraved on the Wall of Honor at Arlington National Cemetery. Her brother James, Navy SEAL Team 3, returns from Afghanistan and watches Webb's interview in her empty Brooklyn apartment. Someone sends James an 11-second video clip. Anonymous email, no message. It shows a helicopter 78 floors up, September 11th, 9:47 a.m. Shows Webb shoving a woman backward. Shows Maya stepping away from the edge. The folded flag James gave her now sits in his gear bag. Webb doesn't know James exists, but James knows everything. When justice fails, what does a SEAL do in civilian clothes? Marcus Webb owned September 10th, 2001. Corner office at Deutsch and Partners, 62nd floor, World Trade Center South, Tribeca loft with floor-to-ceiling windows. Engagement ring ordered for Senator Patricia Whitmore's daughter, Caroline. 3 carats platinum band, delivery scheduled for October. Webb was 34, pulling 7 figures, and the world bent toward him like it owed him something. His colleagues called him the Golden Boy. He'd earned it. Harvard MBA, 6 years building the derivatives desk into the firm's cash engine. That Tuesday morning, he was running late. Stopped for coffee at a cart on Fulton Street, double espresso, everything bagel. The delay saved his life, or so he'd tell people later. American Airlines Flight 11 hit the North Tower at 8:46 a.m. Webb was still 3 blocks away when the second plane struck his building at 9:03, slamming into floors 78 through 84. His office was 16 floors below impact. He had time. Maya Richardson didn't plan to be in the South Tower that morning. Army medic, 4 years active duty, honorably discharged in 1999 after her father's cancer diagnosis. She'd spent his final months at Walter Reed, then Brooklyn, then Arlington for the funeral. Her brother James gave her their father's flag at the cemetery, the same day he told her he'd made SEAL Team 3. "You're the strongest person I know," he'd said. She was 31, working as an independent security consultant, and September 11th was supposed to be a quick meeting. 9th floor conference room, risk assessment for a financial firm, in and out by 10. The plane hit 30 floors above her. She helped 12 people find the stairwell before smoke filled the corridors and cut off the path down. 78th floor, northwest corner, 23 people trapped. Maya stayed calm. She'd been trained for chaos. What she hadn't trained for was a helicopter with 1 spot left and a man willing to kill for it. September 11th, 2001, 9:47 a.m., the helicopter appeared outside the shattered windows like a miracle. NYPD rescue unit. Rotor wash, scattering papers and smoke. The pilot shouted through a bullhorn. 1 person, maybe 2 if they're small, then we're overweight. Maya moved toward the rope ladder, methodical, the way she'd done 100 extractions in field exercises. She reached for the line. Marcus Webb hit her from the side, full body weight, screaming, "I have a family." She stumbled backward, caught herself against the window frame. Webb grabbed the rope and climbed, hand over hand, no hesitation. The pilot pulled him inside. The helicopter banked away. Maya watched it disappear into the smoke. She didn't cry. She turned back to the others, helped a woman with asthma sit down, found water bottles in a vending machine. 23 minutes later, the South Tower collapsed. Across the street, an office worker named Sarah Chen had filmed the whole thing on a Sony Handycam. 11 seconds, clear enough to see faces. Webb was pulled from the rubble, 14, Hours later, dehydrated, broken ribs, covered in dust, but alive. He told the rescue team he'd been heading down the stairs when the tower fell, got trapped in a pocket near the lobby. No mention of the helicopter, no mention of the 78th floor. The story held. Within a week, he was doing interviews. The New York Times ran his photo above the fold. Miracle Man of 9/11. He described the darkness, the fear, the moment he heard voices and started digging himself out. People wept. His firm gave him extended leave, full pay. Senator Whitmore called personally to express her gratitude that her future son-in-law had survived. By October, Webb had an agent. By November, a book deal worth $200,000. He appeared on CNN, calm and composed, telling Anderson Cooper about the importance of never giving up. Maya Richardson's body was never recovered. James Richardson returned from Afghanistan on November 18th and found her apartment exactly as she'd left it. Coffee, mug in the sink, folded flag on the mantel, bills paid through December. January 2002. James Richardson sat in his sister's apartment, staring at a laptop screen. The email had arrived at 11:43 p.m. Sender unknown, subject line blank. One attachment, video 0911.move. He clicked it. 11 seconds. Shaky footage, zoomed in on the South Tower's shattered windows, a helicopter hovering, two figures visible. A woman reaching for the rope, a man in a suit shoving her back. The man climbs. The helicopter leaves. The woman stands alone at the window. James watched it 47 times that night. He could see Webb's face clearly in seconds 4 through 6, when he turned toward the camera while grabbing the rope. He could see Maya's expression in seconds 8 through 9. Not fear, just recognition that she'd been betrayed. James had spent 6 years as a SEAL. He'd been trained to stay calm, assess threats, execute missions. This wasn't a mission. This was something else. He saved the video to 3 separate drives, printed screenshots, then started searching. The sender's email address was a dead end, routed through proxies, but the video was real, and Marcus Webb was famous now. James found Sarah Chen in 3 days. Office worker J.P. Morgan Chase, 51st floor of the building across from the South Tower. She'd filmed the helicopter rescue attempt from her window, then spent 2 months in trauma therapy. When James knocked on her apartment door in Astoria, she knew why he was there before he said a word. She let him in. Her hands shook when she poured coffee. "I tried to give it to the police," she said. "September 15th, I brought the tape to the precinct. They told me to hold on to it, said they'd follow up. Then a lawyer called, Marcus Webb's lawyer, said if I released the video, I'd be interfering with an ongoing investigation, possibly obstructing justice. I didn't understand. I'm not political. I saw what happened." James asked if she had the original. She nodded. "I made 3 copies, sent one to you, kept one, gave one to the FBI. James asked about the FBI. Sarah's face went pale. "They said they'd look into it. That was October. I haven't heard anything since." Marcus Webb's life in early 2002 looked like redemption. He'd moved out of the Tribeca loft, too many memories, and into Caroline Whitmore's penthouse on the Upper East Side. The wedding was scheduled for June at the Whitmore estate in Connecticut. His book, Seconds to Live, My 9/11 Survival, was due in May. He'd been invited to serve on the board of 3 different 9/11 memorial organizations. Every week brought new speaking requests, corporate events, universities, charity galas. Webb accepted most of them. $5,000 per appearance, sometimes 10. He told the same story every time, polished it until the rhythm was perfect, the pauses landing where they should. He described the darkness, the fear, the miracle of survival. He never mentioned the helicopter. But the helicopter haunted him. He dreamed about it 3 nights a week. The rotor wash, the rope, the woman's face when he pushed her. He didn't know her name. He'd never asked. In the dreams, she didn't fall. She just stood there, watching him leave. And the look on her face was worse than anything he could imagine. James Richardson started attending Webb's speaking events in February. Dallas first, then Chicago, then Boston. He sat in the back rows, always in civilian clothes, jeans, jacket, baseball cap. He watched Webb work the crowds, shake hands, sign books. Webb was good at it. Warm, humble, self-deprecating in the right moments. "I'm no hero," he'd say. "I just refuse to give up." The audiences loved him. James saw something else. He saw the way Webb's hands trembled when he held the microphone, the way he drank 3 glasses of water during every speech, the way his eyes scanned the exits. After the Boston event, James followed Webb back to his hotel. Watched him sit alone at the bar for 2 hours, drinking single malt, staring at nothing. Webb's guilt was visible if you knew what to look for, but guilt wasn't enough. On February 24th, James met FBI agent Linda Torres at a memorial event in Washington. She approached him near the Wall of Honor, stood next to him for a moment, then said quietly, "You're Maya's brother." He nodded. She handed him a business card. "Call me." Linda Torres had been investigating Marcus Webb since October 2001. Not officially, her supervisor had shut down the inquiry after 2 weeks, citing lack of evidence and political sensitivity. Senator Whitmore's office had made calls, but Torres kept a file. She'd interviewed 3 other survivors who'd been on the 78th floor. 2 didn't remember Webb. 1, a man named Kevin Price, remembered him clearly. "Guy in a suit, freaking out, pushed past everyone to get to the helicopter," Price had said. "There was a woman helping people, really calm, and he shoved her. I couldn't believe it." Torres had tried to get Price to make an official statement. He refused. "I've got a family," he'd said. "Webb's got lawyers and the senator's daughter. I'm not touching this." Torres understood, but she didn't stop. When she learned about Sarah Chen's video, she requisitioned a copy through unofficial channels. When she learned about James Richardson, she found him. They met at a coffee shop in Arlington, 3 blocks from the cemetery. James brought his copies of the video. Torres brought her case file. They compared notes for 2 hours. Then Torres said, "He's untouchable through official channels, but you're not official." May 2002. Seconds to Live. My 9/11 Survival. Hit bookstores on May 7th, published by Random House, initial print run of 100,000 copies. Webb's book tour started in New York. Barnes & Noble on 5th Avenue, standing room only. James Richardson stood in the back holding a hardcover copy. He'd read it in one sitting the night before. The book was compelling, well-written, emotionally precise. It described Webb's morning routine, the coffee stop, the confusion when the plane hit, the decision to head down the stairs. It described helping others, staying calm, finding the stairwell. It described the collapse, the darkness, the pocket of survival, the rescue. On page 127, Webb wrote, "In moments of crisis, we discover who we truly are. I'd like to think I helped others before I helped myself. I'd like to think courage found me when I needed it most." James watched Webb read that passage aloud to the crowd. Watched people wipe their eyes. Watched Webb sign copies for 2 hours, shaking hands, accepting praise. That night, James went to Queens and knocked on Sarah Chen's door again. "I need the original tape," he said, "and I need you to sign a statement." James Richardson leaked the video on May 15th, 2002. He sent it simultaneously to 3 journalists, one at the New York Times, one at the Washington Post, one at CNN. He included Sarah Chen's signed statement Kevin Price's interview transcript from Agent Torres's file, and a single-page summary of verifiable facts. He sent it from an internet cafe in Brooklyn. Anonymous email, untraceable. Webb's legal team couldn't stop all three. The Times published first, May 17th, front page. 9/11 hero accused of pushing woman to her death. The video was online within an hour. 11 seconds that destroyed everything. CNN ran it on loop. The woman's calm reach for the rope. Webb's shove. Her stumble backward. The helicopter leaving. By May 18th, Webb's publisher had halted the book tour. By May 19th, Senator Whitmore's office released a statement saying Caroline had ended the engagement to focus on personal matters. By May 20th, Webb's speaking fees were canceled, his board position suspended pending investigation. The story exploded. Some defended him. Impossible situation. Survival instinct. We can't judge. But the video didn't lie. And the woman he'd pushed had a name now. Maya Richardson, Army veteran, off-duty medic who'd helped 12 people before Webb shoved her aside. May 22nd, 2002. Marcus Webb held a press conference at his lawyer's office in Midtown Manhattan. 27 reporters. 8 cameras. Webb wore a dark suit, no tie, and read from a prepared statement. He denied everything. I have no memory of the incident shown in the video. I was in shock, terrified, fighting for my life. If I inadvertently came into contact with another person during the evacuation, it was not intentional. I grieve for every life lost that day, including Maya Richardson. He didn't take questions. He stood to leave. And then James Richardson walked into the back of the room, full dress uniform, Navy SEAL insignia, ribbon rack showing deployment medals. He didn't say a word. He just stood there, holding the folded American flag, the same flag their father had been buried with, the same flag Maya had kept on her mantle. He made eye contact with Webb, held it. Webb froze. The cameras turned. For 11 seconds, exactly 11, nobody moved. Then Webb broke. "I'm sorry," he said. "I was afraid. I pushed her. I'm sorry." The room erupted. Webb's lawyer grabbed his arm, but it was over. The fallout was immediate and total. Random House pulled the book from stores, offered full refunds, speaking fees were returned. Webb's firm, rebranded after 9/11 as Deutsche Memorial Partners, quietly let him go. Severance package with a non-disclosure agreement. Criminal charges were impossible. New York prosecutors reviewed the case and concluded there was no law against pushing someone during an emergency evacuation, no provable intent to kill. But the Richardson family filed a wrongful death suit in civil court, seeking $10 million. The case settled in August 2003 for an undisclosed amount estimated at $2 million. Webb lost his apartment, his reputation, his future. He moved to Boston, worked in finance under a different name, stayed off social media. Agent Linda Torres closed her unofficial file in June 2002. She wrote one line in her final notes: "Sometimes justice isn't legal." Sarah Chen deleted her copy of the video and moved to Seattle. Kevin Price never spoke publicly about what he saw, and James Richardson carried the folded flag in his gear bag for the next 3 deployments, never explaining why. September 11th, 2003, the second anniversary. Ground Zero ceremony. 2,000 people, politicians and families and survivors. The Maya Richardson Memorial Scholarship was announced that morning. Full ride for children of first responders, Army veterans, preferred. James Richardson placed the folded flag at the temporary memorial encased in glass, labeled with Maya's name and rank. Marcus Webb stood 300 yards away, behind the police barricades, watching. Nobody recognized him. He'd lost 40 pounds, grown a beard, wore sunglasses and a baseball cap. He stayed for 10 minutes, then left. The flag remained. 6 months later, it was moved to the 9/11 Memorial Museum, permanent installation, labeled, "In memory of Sergeant Maya Richardson, U.S. Army." Courage isn't what you do when cameras are watching, it's what you do when no one will ever know.